Yo, what is up everybody? It's Starman and welcome to the channel. Today we're going on an adventure. We're going to be checking out some of the most bizarre landscapes this world has to offer. I'm talking about places you wouldn't believe even existed. And to make things even more interesting, we're going to be pairing each location with its own custom soundtrack. So buckle up because we're about to dive headfirst into a world of wonder and awe. Let's go! Alright, first up, we've got the grass plains. Imagine looking out as far as the eye can see, and all you see is grass. But not just any grass, we're talking about vibrant, lush green grass that seems to stretch on forever like a green ocean. The air is filled with the sound of the wind whispering through the blades like a gentle sigh. And the soundtrack, think chill acoustic guitar, maybe a little bit of flute. Trust me, this place is more exciting than it sounds. Next, we're heading to the desert, where the sun beats down relentlessly and the air is hot and dry. Sand stretches as far as the eye can see, broken only by the occasional cactus or tumbleweed. The way the light plays on the sand, creating ever-shifting patterns and shadows, is mesmerizing. And the soundtrack? We're talking about some haunting melodies, maybe a little bit of Middle Eastern influence, something that really captures the mystery and vastness of this unforgiving landscape. Let's switch gears and head to the tropical beach, where the sun is always shining and the water is crystal clear. Palm trees sway gently in the breeze, their leaves rustling like whispers. The sand is white and soft, like powdered sugar, and the water is a perfect temperature for swimming, snorkeling, or just floating around. For the soundtrack, picture upbeat reggae rhythms, steel drums, and maybe even a little bit of ukulele. It's the kind of music that makes you want to kick off your shoes, grab a drink with a little umbrella in it, and just relax. Get ready to bundle up because we're heading to the snowy area, where the ground is covered in a blanket of pristine white and the air is crisp and clean. The trees are bare, their branches heavy with snow, and the only sound is the crunch of your footsteps as you make your way through this winter wonderland. But don't be fooled by the seeming stillness. Life teems beneath the surface. The soundtrack here is all about tranquility and peace. Think soft piano melodies, maybe a little bit of flute, or even some nature sounds like wind chimes. It's the kind of music that makes you feel calm and centered at one with the world around you. Next up, we're scaling the heights of a mountainous region. We're talking towering peaks that pierce the sky, their slopes covered in forests and meadows. The air is thin up here, but the views are absolutely breathtaking. Waterfalls cascade down the mountainsides, their roar echoing through the valleys. And the wildlife. Keep your eyes peeled for soaring eagles and nimble mountain goats. And the soundtrack? We need something epic, something that captures the grandeur and majesty of these mountains. Think soaring orchestral scores, maybe a little bit of traditional Celtic music. Hold on to your hats because things are about to heat up as we enter the volcanic world. We're talking about a landscape forged in fire, where molten lava flows like rivers and geysers erupt from the earth with incredible force. But even in this hostile environment, life finds a way. Look closely and you might spot strange and wonderful creatures that have adapted to thrive in this extreme heat. The soundtrack here is intense. Think heavy guitars, pounding drums, and maybe even some electronic elements. It's the kind of music that matches the raw power and energy of this volcanic landscape. Ever heard of a soda jungle forest? Get ready for a sensory overload because we're about to dive into a world of vibrant colors and strange sounds. Imagine a jungle where the plants fizz and pop, where the rivers flow with sparkling soda, and the air is thick with the sweet scent of candy. It's like Willy Wonka went on a nature hike and got a little carried away. The soundtrack? We're going full-on whimsical here. Think playful melodies, maybe a little bit of xylophone or glockenspiel, and definitely some sound effects to mimic the fizzing and popping of this unique environment. Ever dreamed of walking on clouds? Well, in Fluffy Skies land, that dream becomes a reality. Imagine a world where the ground is made of soft, fluffy clouds, where you can bounce from one to another like a giant trampoline. The air here is light and airy, And the sun filters through the clouds, creating a soft, ethereal glow. And the soundtrack, we're going full-on dreamy here. Think ethereal vocals, soft harps, and maybe even some ambient soundscapes. It's the kind of music that makes you feel like you're drifting through a beautiful dream. Get ready to get your hands dirty because we're heading to Gladness Slime Land. This place is like a giant bouncy castle filled with, you guessed it, slime. You can jump, slide and bounce your way through this landscape, and the best part is, it's impossible to be sad in Gladness Slime Land. For the soundtrack, we're going full-on happy-go-lucky. Think upbeat pop music, catchy melodies, and maybe even some silly sound effects. Time to face our fears as we venture into the I Miss Him caves. These caves are shrouded in mystery and legend. Locals say they're haunted by the ghosts of lost lovers, their whispers echoing through the tunnels. The way the light plays on the stalactites and stalagmites, creating eerie shadows that dance and flicker, is mesmerizing. The soundtrack here is all about atmosphere and emotion. Think haunting melodies, maybe a solo piano or cello, and definitely some reverb to create that echoing cave effect. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. Bloodbath Island is actually quite beautiful, with lush vegetation, pristine beaches and crystal clear waters. The name comes from the vibrant red color of the sand, which is said to be stained with the blood of ancient warriors. There are hidden temples to discover, exotic animals to encounter, and breathtaking views to enjoy. The soundtrack here is all about adventure and mystery. Think tribal drums, exotic flutes, and maybe even some chanting in a language you don't understand. It's the kind of music that makes you feel like you're on an epic quest. Okay, this one might not be for the faint of heart. Guts and Organ World is, well, exactly what it sounds like. It's a landscape made entirely of, you guessed it, guts and organs, but don't worry, it's not as gross as it sounds. Think of it more like a giant abstract art installation. The colours are actually quite beautiful, ranging from deep reds and purples to vibrant yellows and greens. The soundtrack here is all about dissonance and unease. Think experimental electronic music, distorted sounds, and maybe even some screams and moans thrown in for good measure. Time to face the void in Devoid. This desolate landscape is completely empty. No trees, no plants, no animals, not even any rocks. It's just a flat, featureless expanse that stretches on forever in every direction. The silence here is deafening, and the lack of any visual stimulation can be unsettling. The soundtrack here is all about minimalism and emptiness. Think long, drawn-out drones, subtle shifts in texture, and maybe the occasional barely audible whisper. Ah, the mystery of the unknown. We don't know what to expect here, and that's part of the excitement. Will it be a lush paradise or a desolate wasteland? The only way to find out is to venture forth and see for ourselves. The soundtrack here is a complete mystery too. That's the beauty of the unknown. Anything is possible. And so our journey comes to an end. We've seen some truly bizarre and amazing landscapes, and we've heard some incredible music along the way, but the real treasure was the journey itself. This final landscape, the journey's end, is a culmination of everything we've experienced. It's a place of peace, tranquility, and reflection, where we can look back on our adventure with a sense of accomplishment and gratitude. The soundtrack here is a celebration of life, a triumphant anthem that captures the joy of discovery and the bittersweet feeling of saying goodbye. Wow, what a journey that was. We explored everything from serene plains to fiery volcanoes, even a world made entirely of slime. If you enjoyed this adventure, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more explorations into the unknown. Until next time, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep your ears open to the music all around you. Peace out.